Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Harrison County Search and Rescue pulled a body out of the Licking River while searching for a missing man.
We're learning more about the arrest of a former high school basketball coach in eastern Kentucky.
And some dramatic video as an unmanned NASA-contracted rocket carrying supplies for the International Space Station exploded on takeoff. Those stories and more. Breaking news as it happens. It's coming up on WKYT This Morning. Good morning and welcome. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. For the first track on the weather, let's turn to meteorologist Micah Harris.
Outside, we have a little rain this morning. You can see that down toward the southern zones on First Alert Defender live radar. And there is your shot. The best rain right now is over Monticello there in Wayne County. That's a pretty good rain. That's rain you want to sleep to. There's no doubt about that. And as we work our way into the afternoon hours, you'll see all that disappear. So there's your shot right there. Current temperatures holding on to the 50s, a couple of 40s mixed in. It's not really all that cold. It's kind of on the cool side. But toward the afternoon, 58 degrees. Here comes that cooler air. This isn't even close to being the coldest air. Drop that close to 20 degrees, and that could be our highs for the weekend. And I'll show you really how cold we go coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll get ready for that, and we thank you. New this morning, one man is in the hospital and another in jail after an overnight shooting.
It happened at about 11 o'clock last night at a home on South Dogwood Drive in Berea. Few details have been released, but Madison County Sheriff's deputies say the man was taken to UK Hospital. His condition has not been released. According to the Madison County Detention Center, 67-year-old Johnny Durham has been arrested in connection with the shooting. He's charged with assault.
Not a good start for former UK basketball player Julius Randle. The LA Lakers forward broke his leg last night in his NBA debut. The 19-year-old went down during the fourth quarter of last night's 108-90 loss to the Houston Rockets. ESPN is citing team doctors as saying Randle has a broken tibia. Teammate and veteran OBrien said it was tough to see the young athlete get hurt after working so hard on his game during the preseason. Certainly be following that. Well, the search for a missing Harrison County man took a disturbing turn last night. Crews say they found a man's body in a river.
As of this morning, investigators still aren't sure if that body is that of 32-year-old Clinton O'Brien. He disappeared nearly a week ago. Search crews talked to us after finding the body. WKYT's Jerica Insco has the very latest.
The search and rescue crew here in Harrison County has spent a lot of time searching for a man who has been missing for 6 days now. Now, that search got put on hold when the crew pulled a body out of Robinson Dam. They have spent 12 of the last 24 hours trying to find any signs of 32-year-old Clinton O'Brien.
With the dogs, the underwater cameras, and then we had our county fire team go in with boats and kind of operate around the area where we were getting all the hits. We were able to locate a body.
But that's not what these crews hope for when they start searching. They hope for a sign of life. In this case, an indication that O'Brien isn't in Licking River, with his car being found right beside Robinson Dam Monday night.
Having the keys in the ignition was just a trigger for us that we really need to thoroughly make sure there's nothing down here. I mean, we would rather left here thinking he wasn't here as to finding somebody.
Along with the Harrison County Fire Department, search and rescue officials say their job isn't done until they can give the family a definite answer of what happened.
It is always our hope to find something, especially when we have a missing person and we're wanting to help the family out, give them a little closure. We're always hoping to find something, but we would really like for it to be a live person instead of a deceased one.
O'Brien's family was on scene of the search but did not want to comment. There is still no word on what led up to his disappearance. In Harrison County, Jerica Insco, WKYT.
The Harrison County coroner tells us he hopes to identify the body today after an autopsy in Frankfort.
A former Harlan County High School girls basketball coach has been accused of trying to videotape players in the locker room. The Harlan County Sheriff's Office arrested 41-year-old Anthony Nolan at the school yesterday. He coached the girls basketball team until May, but still taught English at Harlan County High School. The sheriff says the investigation began in May after he received a complaint from a parent.
He had informed me that his daughter, with several other girls, had located what they believed to be Mr. Nolan's cell phone in a mesh part of a duffel bag and in an empty locker, and it apparently was recording at the time.
Nolan has been charged with criminal attempt to promote a minor in a sex performance and criminal attempt to promote a sexual performance by a minor. But the sheriff says more charges could be filed. Nolan will be arraigned next week.
We are tracking the search for a man police say robbed a Lexington business. It happened just before 6 last night at Check and Go on Richmond Road. Police say the robber walked in, implied he had a weapon and demanded money. No one was injured. Police say they have a limited description of the robber.
Well, just seconds after liftoff, an unmanned supply ship rocket exploded over a launch pad in Virginia.
The rocket was headed to the International Space Station. No one was injured in this, and now NASA is trying to figure out exactly what went wrong. As Begad Shaban shows us, cameras caught the explosion on tape.
And we have liftoff.
An unmanned supply ship bound for the International Space Station lifted off a launch pad on Wallops Island, Virginia, Tuesday night. But seconds later, it exploded, sending flames and shrapnel high into the air.
There was a big boom on the island. You could hear windows shatter, and everyone was screaming.
Something went wrong, and we will find out what that is. We will determine the root cause, and we will correct that.
The 14-story Antares rocket was built by Orbital Sciences Corporation, one of 2 private companies with a NASA contract to supply the space station since the retirement of the space shuttles. CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood says something might have gone wrong with the Russian-made first-stage engines.
There appeared to be a detonation of some sort at the base of the rocket. You could see this explosion stop the forward motion of the rocket, then it simply fell back down to the pad and exploded in a huge fireball.
The ship was carrying more than 5,000 pounds of supplies.
Clothing, food, science gear, spare parts, other equipment, nothing that's critical to the health and safety of the crew, nothing critical to the operation of the space station, but certainly it'll be missed.
A survey of the scene won't begin until daylight. Crews are letting fires burn out and the site cool down before they start looking for clues. Begad Shaban, CBS News.
A similar rocket failed during a test last May. A Russian rocket carrying supplies is scheduled to lift off for the space station today.
Time is 4:37 on WKYT this morning. Former President Bill Clinton planning another trip to Kentucky to campaign for Senate candidate Allison Lundergan Grimes. Grimes' campaign says he will appear at an event with her in Louisville tomorrow. Former President Clinton was just in western Kentucky last week campaigning for Grimes, and former Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton will campaign for her in Lexington and northern Kentucky on Saturday. As for Republican Senator Mitch McConnell, he's been on a statewide bus tour with singer Lee Greenwood this week. And Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal will appear with Senator McConnell in Louisville today.